Do not touch your face after 50 until you see these 5 products. I am serious. They smooth, they lift, they blur, and together they take 20 years off without looking like you are wearing anything at all. Your friends will ask what you did, your mirror will ask what you did, and the final product on this list, the foundation, is the one that made me sit down when I first tried it. Stay until the end for that one. My name does not matter as much as my hands do. I have been a makeup artist for 30 years. I started backstage in Seoul doing bridal makeup under fluorescent lights that forgive absolutely nothing, and I have spent the last 3 decades working on faces of every age, every skin type, every texture. I turned 51 this year, so now my own face in the vanity mirror tells me the truth every morning before any client does. And the truth is simple. The rules change after 50 because our skin changes, and the makeup we grew up with was never designed for the skin we have now. So let me walk you through the 5 products I use on every mature face that sits in my chair, in the exact order I apply them. Number 1, the Benefit Professional Primer. I will be blunt with you because that is how I love people. Almost every woman over 50 who sits in my chair has skipped primer her entire life. She thinks primer is a young woman's product, something for oily 25-year-old skin and giant pores. Then she puts foundation directly onto bare skin, and by 2 in the afternoon, everything has separated. The foundation is sitting in patches on the cheeks, gathering in the smile lines, and looking cakey around the nose. And she blames the foundation. The foundation was never the problem. The canvas was. Mature skin is drier. It has less bounce. When you smooth a primer like the Professional over clean, moisturized skin, you are doing 2 things at once. You are adding a layer of hydration, and you are filling in that slightly crepey texture we all develop on the cheeks and around the eyes. The skin gets this soft, cushioned surface, and suddenly everything you put on top glides instead of grabbing. Foundation applies evenly. Blush blends instead of streaking. I warm a small amount between my fingertips and press it onto the cheeks, the chin, the forehead, anywhere texture shows. 30 seconds of work. It changes the entire day of your makeup. If your makeup separates by lunchtime, this step is almost always the one you are missing. But a smooth canvas only gets you so far because the next mistake happens right under the eyes, and it is the one I correct most often in my chair. Number 2, the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Shape Tape is a beautiful concealer, full coverage, creamy. It can erase a dark circle like it was never there. And that is exactly why women over 50 get in trouble with it. The instinct is to swipe on a thick layer, the way we did at 35, and then buff it around with a brush. But the skin under our eyes is the thinnest skin on the entire face, and it only gets thinner with age. When you drag a heavy concealer across that delicate area, you are pulling the skin, and then all of that product compresses straight into every fine line by mid-morning. Creasing. That is the word women say to me with such frustration, and I understand it completely. So here is what I do instead. 1 small dot, maybe 2. I tap it with my ring finger because the ring finger is naturally the gentlest, and I press the concealer into the skin. Press, press, press. Never drag, never swipe, never rub. Pressing melts the product into the skin so it becomes part of the skin, instead of a layer sitting on top waiting to crack. Less product, pressed in gently, will always look 10 years younger than more product dragged across. On mature skin, blending matters far more than coverage ever will. Now, once the under eyes are bright and smooth, most women stop there and skip the step that actually brings the face back to life. Number 3, the Laura Mercier Moisturizer Blush. I want you to think about a young face for a second. What makes it read as young? Color, movement, that soft, natural flush in the cheeks. As we age, that flush fades and the face can start to look a little flat, a little gray, even when the skin itself is lovely. Blush is how we bring that back, but powder blush on mature skin is a trap. Powder sits on top of texture and emphasizes every pore and every fine line. It looks dusty, it looks like makeup. A cream formula like this, Laura Mercier Blush, works completely differently. It has moisture in it, so it melts into the skin. My technique is almost embarrassingly simple. 1 small dot on each cheek. Then I smile softly, find the round part of the cheek, and press the color in with my fingers, blending upward toward the temple. Not a stripe, not a circle, just a soft wash of warmth, like you took a brisk walk in cool air. When someone looks at you, they should not see blush. They should see a woman who looks rested and healthy. That is the difference between wearing makeup and wearing a glow. By the way, if this is helping you, take 1 second and hit subscribe. I share what 30 years behind the makeup chair actually taught me every single week, and I would love to have you here. Now let us talk about the feature everyone forgets, and it is the one that ages a face faster than almost anything else. Number 4, the Rare Beauty Lip Liner. Nobody warns you about this one. As we age, the border of the lips, that crisp little edge that used to be so defined, slowly fades. The lipstick that behaved perfectly for decades suddenly starts to feather, bleeding into those tiny vertical lines around the mouth. You catch it in the bathroom mirror at a restaurant and think, when did that start happening? I have watched women give up lipstick entirely over this, and it breaks my heart because the fix takes about 15 seconds. A good lip liner, and this Rare Beauty one glides on soft without tugging the lips, does 2 jobs at once. First, it rebuilds the shape. You trace the natural lip line, and if the edges have softened, you draw the line right where the border used to be. Nobody will ever know. Second, the liner acts like a fence. It stops lipstick from traveling into those fine lines around the mouth, so your color stays exactly where you put it through coffee, through lunch, through a long dinner. A defined lip lifts the whole lower face. It is one of the fastest age erasers in my entire kit, and it costs less than a nice lunch. But I promised you the last one would be worth waiting for, and I keep my promises, because everything we just built, the smooth canvas, the bright eyes, the flush, the defined lip, all of it sits on top of one decision, your foundation, and this is where I watched everything change. Number 5, the Luxe Color Changing Foundation. Let me tell you how I found this because I did not go looking for it. A client brought it to my studio about a year ago and asked me to try it on her. She is 62, gorgeous bone structure, but very dry skin with fine lines through the cheeks, the kind of face where traditional foundations turn against you by mid-afternoon. I was skeptical. I have tested hundreds of foundations on mature skin in 30 years. Nearly all of them make the same promises and break them the same way. They look lovely at 9 in the morning, and then they oxidize, turning darker and orange as the day goes on. They settle into every line, and by evening, the face looks tired and heavy. The Luxe foundation comes out of the bottle looking almost white, and then as you blend it across the skin, the color-changing technology adapts to your exact tone. I watched it shift on her face in real time, and I actually sat down on my stool. It matched her perfectly. Not close. Perfectly. And because the pigment adjusts to your skin instead of fighting it, it is almost impossible for this formula to oxidize. The shade you see at 9 in the morning is the shade you see at 9 at night. But the match is only half of why I recommend it. This formula was made for mature skin, and you can feel that in how it behaves. It blurs fine lines instead of collecting in them. It smooths texture the way good lighting does, softly, without that thick, mask-like heaviness. The finish is what I call your skin but better. People will not say, I love your foundation. They will say, you look so rested, did you go on vacation? That is the highest compliment makeup can receive. Now, the honest part, because I told you I am blunt, you will not find Luxe in stores yet. It is only available online, and it has become the best-selling foundation on Amazon, which for a brand nobody could buy in a department store tells you everything about how women are responding to it. If you want to try it, the link is in the description or scan the QR code on your screen right now. That is the only foundation I now use on every mature face in my chair, including my own. So there it is. Prime the canvas so nothing separates. Press your concealer, never drag it. 1 dot of cream blush for the flush, line the lips to bring the shape back, and let a foundation that finally works with your skin do the quiet work underneath it all. 50 is not the age we hide our faces. It is the age we finally know them. If this helped you, subscribe and tell me in the comments which of these 5 you are trying first. I read every single one. I will see you in the next video.